Some measures are being put in place to increase rice cultivation in the country. To achieve this, the Ghana Irrigation Development Authority has been embarking on a series of tours to various irrigation schemes in the country. This time, the authority, led by the Acting Chief Executive Officer, Engineer Richard Opomboating, and some officials visited the Okyereko Irrigation Scheme in the Gomwa East District of the Central Region. Engineer Opomboating tabled out some initiatives to upscale rice production, and one of them is to transition the scheme from grid energy to solar energy sources to cut down operational expenses.
We are coming to run some levels. We have to define the alignment. So when you define the alignment and you run the levels, we can estimate the length of pipes we have to procure. That one will come alongside the solar energy. They are using the grid energy, which is very expensive because they are paying at commercial rate. But once you augment with solar, what you call a hybrid or through net metering, you can be able to drop the bill by about 60%. Now they are paying about, let's say, 50,000 within 3 months. So on average, it's about 13,000 a month. If you're able to add the solar, maybe having a solar farm and through the net metering, which we can secure from Energy Commission and ECG, and we do that one and have the hybrid system, they'll be paying around 4,000 cedis a month.
One of the main rehabilitation works to be done is a fixing of a dike, which prevents the rice fields from flooding.
We are here at Okyereko Irrigation Scheme, specifically at the protective dike location.
Okay.
This dike is the one that is preventing flooding, as you said, from going to the fields. And this one was fixed about 7 years ago. But from what we are seeing today, it's broken. And it was reported to GIDA and also Quaker. But now that we have come here as a technical team, we'll be looking at the dike and see how best we can restore the structure. This one is the one that is preventing flooding to the fields. They are supposed to do twice cropping a year. But from what is happening now, because we're in the rainy season and there's no protection to the fields, they're only doing once in a year. For the past 3 years, they're doing once in a year. So we were here about 3 months ago to look at the structure and then validate the earlier designs. So from here, we'll come with another team to come and look at the structure again and come out with the bills of quantities for the works. We have realized that some of the components are broken. The concrete structure is not there. We'll also be looking at the reinforcement, where we might have to reinforce with bigger iron rods. And it's going to be an engineering study. So we are going to run some surveys. From there, we'll have to model the water resource to see how you have to design the structure to withstand any pressure that will be on the wall.
However, he said GIDA is seeking for financial support to fix the broken dike.
Yeah, not only government, but for the private sector. This should not be done by the government alone. And we need participation of the private sector to also support. And when it comes to irrigation development, it's not only the government that has to support. We need the private sector. So we look at also the development partners like Quaker, JICA, and the USAID. We'll call upon them to come and support us to face this problem.
So there has not been any tabled out discussions with them yet?
Yeah, I think we had the original bill was sent to Quaker. We are yet to hear from them, but we still have to go out and look for more funding from other sources. So the one that will be available is the one that we're going to use to face the issue, the problem. So when we are done with the designs, we'll share with the sector ministry and seek for the approval. When we get the approval, we'll advertise it, and if we get funding, we'll award the contract.
Speaking on capacity building of farmers, the Okyereko scheme manager, Mr. Ebenezer Kwame, said farmers in the area have been trained by the Korea International Cooperation Agency in seed production.
Last year, we had one of the highest producing or yield farmer over here, which is 8 tons per hectare. So we are doing pretty well. On top of that, Okyereko is gradually becoming a seed production unit from the Korean government. They have trained the farmers on how to crop seeds, certified seeds. So sometime will come, you realize Okyereko will be cropping seeds to feed the central region and the whole country.
Madam Isi Obonze, a 62-year-old farmer, was the best rice farmer on the Okyereko Irrigation Scheme, who achieved a remarkable yield of 8 tons per hectare. She commended the government and the Ghana Irrigation Development Authority for their various forms of support.
My name is Isi Obonze, and I am from Gomwa, Okyereko. I am a rice farmer here at Okyereko Irrigation Scheme. I have been doing rice farming for over 3 decades now. Sometimes we do get help from the government. At times, I have to go for a loan and later pay after I have sold my produce.
According to her, rice farming is very profitable. It has helped her to provide for the family.
Farming, especially rice farming, is very profitable. I have gotten lots of profits from rice farming since I started. Through this rice farming, I have been able to fend for my family.
She appealed to the government and developmental partners to fix the broken dike to prevent their rice fields from persistent flooding.
I appeal to the government to fix the broken dike. Because of the broken dike, the rains flood our rice fields. So I plead to the government to fix the dike.
So we've heard from our stakeholders here at the Okyereko Irrigation Scheme. My name is Prince Opoku Dogbe reporting for Agroriches TV.